Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm M.Bagas Rizky. I'm from 4BD class. So today I will present my presentation about rise of passage, black goals, journaling, and podcast script writing as counter narratives. So here I also have a search. This is article link, and you can see the author, who is the author in the page when he published, and the others. Okay, let's start with introduction. Okay, at the beginning of the story, it recounts the weekly Kenyan journal entry in response to the questions: how does the world see you? Who you into the world? Kenya is a black teenage girl who participates in Dark Girls, a program designed to bridge literacy outside of school. And in Black Girls Schools, Kenya's sentiments describes how the world sees him and his place in it, and how he sees himself. Kenyan experienced to describe how he was regularly confronted with anti-black rhetoric and online images that negatively impacted his self-perception. Anti-black rhetoric is designed to discourse and to inhuman by stripping darkness of value and systematically marginalizing black people. Kenya is both photographer and avid user of Facebook and TikTok. In further conversation, Kenya revealed how having access to digital tools give him opportunity to share so much about what she loves and what she is, including his poetry as a spoken word poet, his image as photographer, and his vocals as a singer. Delicia, a black girl who also participated in Dark Girls, shared her weekly journal entry in response to mine. Delicia is a blogger and YouTuber who finds comfort and solace in digital writing and performance. Despite her negative experience online, both Kenya and Jalisa journal entries illustrate how black girls as content creators are confronted with anti-black racism. In the digital sphere, this article focuses on how black girl rights of passage serve as opportunities to engage in rites of passage by rewriting their life, humanizing their experience, and countering dominant narratives about black girlhood. In this article, Kenya and Jelisa rites of passage entail recalling their personal black girlhood experience. The girls' rites of passage entail: number one is connecting their collective experience to broader social issues impacting black girls and number two is collaborating on podcast script writing. Next is black girls' rites of passage. Black girls have varied life experience. However, there is also shared experience based on their intersecting identities. Historically, black girls' interesting gender and race identities have positioned them at the margins within society. In current day, Kenya and Jalisa experience highlight how media-rich environment are spaces steeped in anti-blackness toward black goals. This is evident in how media outlets, specifically advertisement, commercials, movies, television, billboard, magazine, and social media sites or search engine algorithm portray black and perpetuate anti-black racist against them. Rites of passage are typically ceremonies that mark important traditional periods in a person's life, such as confirmation of an individual within religious community, becoming a legally significant age, experiencing an epiphany in moments in which decision needs to be made, or taking responsibility for oneself and one personal worldview or choices. For black girls like Kenya and Jelisa, their rite of passage in media-rich environments are not often celebratory in nature, but instead are often fraught with anti-black comments and imaginary that negatively represent black girls and impact how they see themselves. Kenya and Jelisa journal entries illustrate how the outside of school context allow them to center and speak to their rites of passage and its impact on their socio-emotional wellness and self-identity. 84% white women, resulting in instances in which white teachers are teaching black children while often lacking an understanding of cultural histories, linguistic nuances, and out-of-school digital literacy tradition of historic marginalized youth. These intel black girls' cultural identities, social location, and practices influencing how they make meaning and assert themselves socio-politically in out of school context. Digital literacies also serve as counter-narratives and create opportunities for black girls to clear space and speak back to racist ideologies that negatively impact their life. Next is black girls' digital literacies in and out of school. In many instances, schools are often site of contingents for black girls because they do not account for life experience, literacy traditions, and cultural identities that they bring with them into literacy classroom. Oftentimes, literacy classrooms do not serve as socio-emotional support, allowing black girls to use writing to construct identities, make meaning, or engage in agency. Since writing in school traditionally adheres to narrow conceptions of literacy and tends to be viewed solely as a skill-based practice. Individual experience as a black ghost, based on sharing of your individual experience with each other, what seems to be common experience as a black ghost. When do you think about your common experience as a black ghost? What issues in society seems to be connected to them? Kenya and Yalisa highlight how their individual experience focus on their physical attributes, such as facial features and skin complexion. This led this lead to conversation about their shared experience focusing on standard of beauty. Kenya mentioned how white women who are slim with blonde hair and blue eyes set the standard of beauty for everyone else. I think that is like measurement force on black girls because we don't fit into that standard. We are a day either insult or plain invisible. Kenya and Yelisa then jot down social issues that black girls often experience, focusing on standard beauty, including colorism, natural hair shaming, and facial and body features. They brainstorm on how standards of beauty were tied to broader social issues, discriminatory policies on black girls' natural hairstyle, step-in resistance and activism. They use their literacy practice as tools of survival and resistance in society designed to oppress them. In this activity, I preempt discussion by asking what supporting data might provide insight on school discriminatory practice on black girls' natural hairstyle. Kenya and Jalisa conducted an online search and evaluated a website based on currency, accuracy, authority, objectivity, and relevance. So this is the element of podcast and its the description. Next, Kenya and Jalisa thought about how school policies promote anti-blackness. They discussed how they plan to address the discriminatory practices against black girls' natural hairstyle by reviewing their local school district dress code policy. They highlight the section in policy were ambiguous, leaving decision up to the discretion of leadership, and revise them to make more inclusive for hairstyle and hair types. Their plan was to finalize the revision of policy and address them to a next community school board meeting. What has changed are the policies. Then I discussed the concept of layering audio into their podcast. Kenya wanted to resistant anthem for black girls. So she suggests we singer Solen's Now Let's Don't Touch My Hair. Jalisa agreed but suggested by the use instrumental version the song both potential and possibilities out of school writing space over black girl to honor their digital literacy practices. Kenya wanted a resistant anthem for black girls. So she suggests singer Solet's Now Let's Don't Touch My Hair. Okay, next is conversation on podcast script writing. I introduced Kenya and Yelisa to element script writing as they began to think about their collaborative podcast project, Hear Me, Black Ghost Chronicles. While conversing, they draft each element of their podcast script and expanded their talking points over the course of 2 weeks. They detail their journal experience, connect to the collective experiences. Research empowerment resolve social issue, address social by drafting school dress, hair policy, then draft a podcast, then censored black girls instructing anti-black discriminatory against black girl natural hairstyle. Conclusion: Black Girls Out of School multimodal writing served as fertile ground to disrupt dominant narrative of who they are and who they see themselves. Doing so entail opportunities to brainstorm to organize their ideas about both individually and collectively. Black girls engaging in literacy both in print and digital serve as tool of activism resistance that document their journey to their rites of passage. Literacy teachers must develop instruction that limitless without boundaries, free flowing in order to realize potential possibilities out of school. Writing space over black goes to honor their digital practices, live experience, and counter narratives. Writing must be incorporated into instruction as a tool of freedom and not a tool of constraint. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.